shit. Yes, I feel like shit. I've been feeling shit for the last 3 days. Because my beautiful stepdaughter passed on her filthy little joins to play with mine. I feel better. I'm feeling better. But I tell ya, I just am so surprised every time as to how much snot a very small little Filipino nose can produce, you know? Like, wow. Wow. Anyway, recovering on the mend, getting there. All right, off we go. Before we begin today, I just want to give a reminder that in 1 week's time, it is the second last Zero Fucks Tuesday dance party for 2023. If you are a Melburnian or if you happen to be in Melbourne that night, it is a great night of letting loose, dancing your heart out, whatever has been consuming or occupying your head and your body, and just giving yourself 90 minutes of free, uninterrupted liberation. If you're also someone who loves to dance but doesn't want to go to a club, doesn't want to wait till 11 p.m. to go to a club, doesn't really want to get dressed up to go to a club and literally just wants to dance, then these take place on a Tuesday night, 6:45 p.m. till 8:30 p.m. So it's like a class that you would typically go to, a yoga class or a HIIT class in the evening. And yeah, it's a great night to be had. You can come solo and you will absolutely meet people there. You can come with your crew and you will meet even more people there. And you can come and dance with me, as I would absolutely love that. So it's a really fun night. This particular night we will have very upbeat, dancey tunes, always to music that you will know and you can sing along to. So yeah, I'd love to see you there. There's typically around 200 to 220 people who show up. If you want to bring your kids, you can. Just be mindful that it's loud. So if they want, bring little earplugs and, find a little safe space in the room where they feel safe. But also they might feel equally really comfortable to gallivant around. They are welcome to join. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is, I guess, what I've really been in the practice of the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks, maybe 3 now. Yeah, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. And it is, you've heard of the saying, go with the flow, right? I've heard of the saying, go with the flow. And I don't know. I just have gotten it on another level of understanding these last 2 weeks. So what I've noticed is, so since a couple of weeks ago when that situation took place with the man on the beach, I needed to go with the flow that was presenting itself to me after, which was rest, recuperation. I was going to say isolation, but I don't mean it is in isolation, but really going inward and introverting and having that like silent time. That was the flow that was presenting itself to me. And after a week of tending to my body and just really allowing myself to like fully be laying in the sun, all that kind of jazz, I started to feel like good, and more like myself, which is great. And so I was ready to let's go and get shit done, because I have a lot of shit to get done, and keep up a fairly, decent pace with what I need to get done and projects that I have deadlines to meet. And then I got sick. Like I said in the beginning, my beautiful stepdaughter really did pass a bug on. And the flow that was presenting itself to me was rest, sleep, lay in the sun again. And I was like, oh, come on. I need to get stuff done. But the flow that was there, which was rest, recuperate, conserve. That's a great word. Conserve your energy, Kat, John. Conserve it, take care of it, only do what is necessary. So I've canceled another week of gym sessions. I canceled my coaching clients, my one-to-one coaching clients, because there was a flow that I was prepared to create, which was push through it. Let's just get the clients done and then you can rest. Let's just, work out a little bit vigorously and then you can rest. And the flow that was there, that was literally presenting itself, its own current, its own current was, no, you're not going to do that. You're going to really do what is needed to rest properly, to take care of yourself properly, put yourself under a little blanket, lay more in the sun or whatever it is that I need to do, have a bath, etc. Cook really nutritious foods. And that has been the flow that's presented itself. There's also been some happenings in our personal world, which I cannot go into, where the flow that has presented itself to me has really been about like taking care of immediate family and, having the house like extra feel like a home, a safe space, a warm space, whatever space. And all the things that I need to get done, that I need to show up to in order to meet deadlines, I really have just had to put them down for now, and not try and resist the current, like literally the current, right? Think of the ocean, think of a river. There's a current that is just there presenting itself. The current flow that is right in front of me is rest, quiet, conserve, tend to immediate important matters. Immediate important matters. And these important matters, oh my gosh, Daisy has just stuck her little nose through the door. That's an important matter. Excuse me. I'm going to go get her. Oh, hit the little in the door. She's so cute. When they're like the door's just ajar and then their little nose just sticks in and they're so fucking helpless but adorable, and you got to let them in. Go to the baby. Where'd she go? I don't know. Anyway, as I was saying, it was just simply there for me to tend to the immediate important matters, which has been and continues to be my family. So my ego's been going off and saying things like, if you were a real fucking superhero, you could do it all. If you were, a real go-getter, you would be tending to everything. If you were like one of those real boss bitches, you would be staying up late or getting up at 4 a.m. like the 4 a.m. clubbers do and get what you need to get done earlier. But I had a body that was in shock after that experience on the beach that I needed to tend to, and I needed rest, and I needed to not put an alarm on, which was then followed by my body being sick and having a head full of snot and then having a blocked nose, and then having a really ruddy nose, and not having the same juice and energy that I'm used to having. And so all of those options, right? All of those things that the ego was saying, you could be doing this, you could be doing that. Hustle more, woman. Um, I just, it just was not there for me to tap into. And so, really, what this has been is a couple of weeks of surrendering. And like I said last week in last week's podcast, I don't have any teachings, I don't have any insights as to what has sort of been going on, but something that has definitely come out of the last couple of weeks is to really pay attention to the current flow that is presenting itself to you. And, it makes sense, because if I look back over some times in my life where the current of flow that has been presenting itself, or that has presented itself, might have been like a pretty forceful flow, like, hey, there's stacks of energy here, let's rock and roll, let's go. And I may have been resisting that. So I didn't catch the current. I didn't catch or tap into the flow. And so as a result, resisted it, did other things. Maybe I watched TV or Netflix or whatever it was when that current was like, hey, ride me. Get on your surfboard, not that I surf, but like get on your surfboard and let's ride this wave. Let's ride this current. And then there's definitely been other times that's sort of not really my jam. My ego jam is more the current that's presented itself as being, hey girl, why don't you go and enjoy your life and find out some of the things that you enjoy other than work. Take a break, have a little nappy nap. And I've gone, nah, not catching that current. And then a tidal wave of flow has just wiped me out. And I've had no choice other than to be on my ass. So, yeah, it's just been a really interesting little observation that I'm really glad that I've observed it, because now I can see how this will inform just my movements moving forward, tapping into that energetic current that is there. And that's really subtle, right? What you'd be doing here is really tapping into these subtleties, the subtle energies of like, oh, I'm pushing here, but I can feel something else that I could be flowing into, that I could be giving myself over to, that I could be surrendering to. So why am I not? What am I struggling with? Why do I feel like I need to resist this flow? What are the stories in my head about the flow that I don't want to do, but maybe I need to do? And that's really what I've been playing with this last couple of weeks. This is the flow that I need to be in. Not that I want to be in. I want to be, getting shit done and being ahead of the game and all that kind of stuff. And I've still needed to tend to certain things each day, but definitely not to the level that I have wanted to. But I don't know, what's more important than your well-being and your health and your family, the people around you that look to you and go, hey, help, guide me, hug me, love me, tuck me in, those little things that I guess, if we're not tapped into or tuned into, we miss, and then we make ourselves sick or unwell. We miss those little moments with the people that matter. So anyway, that's just me. That's my insight to share, something for you to have a play with. reflect upon, consider what flow might be actually right in front of you, presenting itself. What is the current that is calling you? And are you struggling to even acknowledge that current? Or are you struggling to accept that current, to make changes to tap into that current? What's the resistance? What are the stories that are there? This is ego work, right? And knowing the ego, managing the ego, understanding it. But once we can come into that current that's presenting itself and flow into it, I truly believe, like what's been, coming for me these last couple of weeks, that it's just this real great invitation to a deeper understanding of self, a deeper understanding of what matters. And yeah, just reorganizing life a little bit, reorganizing things of level of importance. Anyway, I invite you to take this into your world if you see fit.